My friends, man, I have loved all of your questions that you've given me. Wanted to take a quick little second and let's dive into a few. I'll choose some random questions. Let's answer them and help you on your trading journey. All right. David says, thanks, Tony. How many hours a week do you spend back trading your strategy and how did you settle on your trading strategy? When I first started, I back traded that strategy from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. at night. I'm not kidding. Every day for probably 3 months. I went back as far as I possibly could, did it on every ticker that I possibly could. I picked the strategy that fit my lifestyle the best of what I needed. So I needed something that allowed me to have freedom. I needed something that was really consistent, didn't have a whole lot of ups and downs in it. And credit spreads just fit that at the time, right? So I still do the same thing, right, with my day trading strategy and everything else. I put a lot of time back trading into it. You need to have at least 500 to 1,000 sample size in your back trading to be able to get an actual idea of what this strategy does. And I'm not just saying back trade the last 5 days. You need to know what this strategy does when the markets are crashing. What does it do when the markets are screaming, sideways, everything, right? Have an idea of what this thing is going to do so you can have a real representation, because a lot of times you do your back trading and the market fits that strategy really good for the past 10 days. And then you apply it and the markets aren't agreeing with it. And so your back trading showed like 90% win rate and then your real life trading is 10%. So give yourself a really solid sample size across multiple time frames. Go back as far as you possibly can, 10 years, 20 years, and figure out what the strategy actually does. Would be my tips for that. Let's see. Diana says, how do you determine the level at which the trend will change from bullish to bearish or vice versa? I use the S curve. I use higher lows and lower highs with very definitive meanings. It has to have a certain amount of price action qualities to be able to determine what is an actual, this is a strong level and I'm looking at for changing direction. Check out my S curve course here. I'll link it. It teaches you exactly how to do that, how to read these markets. I can't recommend it enough to you. I'm not joking when it's got thousands of 5-star reviews. It's changed so many traders' lives. That is a course. If you're going to get anything, that is a course worth getting. It's the S curve course that I did probably about a year ago or so that I put out there. So that's how I determine if we're bullish or bearish. I still use it for every one of my strategies. It's made me stupid amounts of money. So it's there for you. Go check it out. Let's see, Chad, what's up, my friend? Says, when you're down several R for the month, what do you tell yourself to keep going? I look at it like this. All right. So if I have a 50-50 win rate, which is what most of my strategies are, except for when I'm selling options, those are a lot higher, but they come with their different downsides. Think about this. If you have two trash cans and you're just wadding up a piece of paper and you're throwing it in there, right? This trash can is for losses. This trash can is for wins. If it's a 50-50 win rate, sometimes one trash can will fill up faster than the other, but they're both going to be full at the end of the month. Okay. So if you are sitting there and you got a lot of paper in that losing trash can, you've taken a lot of losses. With a 50-50 win rate, realize that other trash can that's looking pretty empty is going to fill up. That's just math. The thing is that most people go wrong with this is they start to change their strategy. They start to chase trades instead of follow their strategy. So instead of it being 50-50, now your win rate's 30% because now you're not sticking to that strategy, you're changing it. Having a drawdown is where most people go wrong. Again, come check out my course that I'm doing March 6th. Yeah, come check out my course that talks about how to lose. I go over this, but I'll give you a little sneak peek into this. Don't let those losses change what you're doing. You need to stay consistent, right? You're not going to change things up. You're not going to go load the boat with a ton of size when you're winning a lot, because when the winning trash can's full and the losing trash can's empty, guess what's going to happen? You're going to fill up both trash cans, right? So be patient, stick to the plan, control your emotions. That's the best way to overcome down quite a few R's. Stick to the plan, okay? Let's dive in to Scott, this is such a great question, my friend. Let's look into it. It says, love your energy and enthusiasm. Thank you. Thank you for opening up and sharing your approach in life. You said you were on RLT and Slack and didn't ask any questions or reach out until you hit rock bottom. If you could go back, what one or two questions would have helped you the most? Oh man, that is such a good question. One or two questions that would have helped me out the most. Sending Jeremy my past 20 trades and saying, what are you seeing in this? And I actually did that. And he was like, your trades are great. You're the one that's screwing it up. So he made me take a trade, set up my stop target. Once I get filled, I have to leave the computer for 2 hours. And I started making money. So I started to realize real quick it was my emotions and myself that was messing me up. It wasn't necessarily like my strategy or my entry, stuff like that. So definitely one question I wish I could have done was just say, hey, look at my trades. What are you seeing on this? That's what I should have done a lot earlier. I did that finally when I hit rock bottom, and it helped me out a ton. Second question would have been, man, I would have asked I would have asked the community a lot more questions on what do they do when they were struggling when they were first starting out. Like kind of getting their perspective and what was that key change for them that finally got them on that path of profitability. So those have been a few questions. What a great question that is. Eric has got, my question is, how many years did it take you to be profitable and not have to spend so many hours studying and preparing? I've been trying to learn off and on for about 2 years. Just becomes hard at time to focus with five little ones at home. When I start feeling I take too much time away from them and focusing on too much of the market. It took me, so before I ever quit my job, I studied the markets on and off for quite a few years. Okay. I quit my job and it still took me a couple years, a year and a half or so, I'd say, a year to 2 years, somewhere in there, before I was consistently profitable. Because whenever you're trading with pressure now, like I knew how to trade before, but now it's I have to make money by the end of the week to pay my bills. Like that's a whole new pressure, and that pressure crumbled me and started having me do some other stuff that was not super great. So it took me a little bit with that. I would say all in all, it was probably anywhere from like 4 to 6 years before I was consistently profitable. So it was not a short journey at all. So you are right on par, my friend. Cherish the journey. Learn as much as you can. Don't allow your emotions to get you down. Don't allow your emotions to cause you to think like I should have learned this already. If that was the case 3 years in, I would have quit and I wouldn't be here right now. So be patient with yourself. And that's one of the things the markets are trying to teach you. Learn patience. Once you finally accept that fact of like, look, it's going to take me how long it's going to take me, and I'm okay with that, that skill right there is going to make you so much money. So don't allow these learning opportunities to pass you by. Learn the skills while you're learning how to trade. While you're waiting, learn to be patient, right? Be patient on your entries. Be patient on just letting the trade work, and be patient with yourself while you're learning. Always learn extra skills, and that's what's going to really accelerate you. Don't let yourself get down. Learn how to manage yourself and have confidence in yourself when things aren't right, because I promise you the markets will never stop testing you. And you need to have that skill of not giving up on yourself. Let's see here. Francisco says, do you mainly use options to trade? I mainly do. I've got a lot of different strategies. I've got shares, I've got different things like that, but I love options because I know how to leverage them. If you know how options work, you know what to avoid. Tip of the day. If you're buying options, the cheaper the option is usually the lowest chance of getting a return. The more expensive the option, the higher chance, meaning you're giving yourself more time and you're a little bit closer to the money. That formula right there is going to help you to make more consistent returns whenever you're buying options. Most people do the opposite. Well, I don't want to lose, $200, so I'll just, buy this option that only costs $50 when they should have bought the option that cost 200. because that far out of the money with not enough time, that's where your cheap option live, has a very low return. Okay, so it's kind of like more of a lottery ticket. You make a lot of money if you're right, but you need to be perfectly right. And how often can you be perfectly right? It's not going to be very often. So, yes, I trade a lot with options. All right. Let's see. Brad, my homie Brad, what's going on, brother? Says you're awesome, dude. You're even more awesome. What are your best techniques to avoid letting your emotions and the tie of money get in the way of your trading? The best skills in the world. So, like the best golfer in the world, they don't do it for the money. They do it to be the best. The money just kind of comes, right? Best basketball players, they're not doing it for the money. The money is a perk. It's a side effect. They want to be their very best. Because if that was the case and they get paid their $10 million or $100 million, they'd be done. Just go retire. They're not. They continue to work and push themselves because they want to be the best. If you can think of trading as this skill of, I want to be the best trader in the world. I don't want to try to, I'm not trying to do this for the money. I'm trying to do this to be the best at this skill, to be the best trader. If you just took all the money off and there was no reward and it's just purely the skill of trading, what would be your motivation? What would you be doing? How would you be trading differently? Money tends to influence us so much because we're doing it to make money. We need to change that aspect and we need to start becoming the best traders we can be, and the money will come if you can change that little perspective and the way you approach these markets. So let go of the tie of money. Realize that money comes and goes, right? Most of the time it has to do with your self-worth, right? If you think you're worth $10 an hour and you just made $50 in 2 seconds in the market, all of a sudden it's like, wow, I'm so good, right? But if you realize what your self-worth is, there isn't a dollar amount you can put on your self-worth. And once you realize that, your whole world would change. So that'll separate yourself from the tie of money and allow you to just trade. Get out when the charts tell you to get out, not get out because you've made a lot of money or you're down and you don't want to lose anymore. Let the charts tell you when to get in, to get out. Trade it. Be the best trader you can be, and it'll help separate that tie from money. Heather says, I love virtually hanging out with you. Thank you so much. I love hanging out with you. Thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for watching. Says, currently I'm growing a small account and buying and holding to grow my account. What is a good point to get in and start swing or day trading? How do you get the courage to make that first trade? Um, Man, great question. So if you are trying not to lose, trading is going to be very scary for you. If you accept every outcome, there's now no longer, you don't need to have courage anymore. You don't need to be brave because there's nothing bad that can happen. So if you just learn how to play the game of trading, there is there's nothing really to be scared of because you understand how the game is played. I will teach you how to play the game. Again, I'll send a link in the description below of how to become the best loser in the stock market. It's going to answer that question. It's going to take away the fear and anxiety that comes along with trading, because I'm going to show you exactly how to play the game. And when you understand the game, you realize losses aren't a big deal. And now you're no longer scared of losing. When you're no longer scared of losing, you can put the trade on and trade free and trade the charts. And that's when your P&L just explodes. So great question. I'm glad you're getting started. Um, Stop trying to avoid losing. Learn how to lose, and there won't be anything to be scared of anymore in the markets. Yeah, great question. Sorry, what's going on? It says, how did you decide the strike price and expiration for options? Do you look at the bigger time frame and then the smaller time frame when day trading? Great question. Here's a really general rule. Okay, whenever you're buying options, buy the 40 delta. It's hard to go wrong with a 40 delta, and give yourself twice the time that you think you need on the expiration unless you're day trading. Okay. If I'm day trading, I'm doing the closest expiration. Anything longer than a day, I'm planning on hold. Go 2 to 3 times longer than you think. So if you're going to hold on to this trade for 2 days, give yourself a week. If you're planning on being in this trade for a week, buy it a month out. Give yourself more time than you need. Time is not on your side with buying long options. So give yourself more of it. Buy more of it. You don't need to go crazy, but a little bit more time will drastically change your returns when it comes to options. And then just that 40 delta is a really simple way of doing it. Now there's different, I go out of the money and in the money and all over the place. There's a reason for that, and it really depends on the market conditions. That should just about do it. Thank you so much for your questions. I'll do my best to start answering as many as I can through the RLT account here on YouTube. But it means the world to me that you guys are willing to engage with me. That's what I want. I want to enrich your life and help you on your journey. That's all I want. Thanks for giving me a chance to do this. If we'll find out how many more day in the lives I'm going to do. It takes a lot of time. But I tell you what, if we can start getting these videos up to 1,000 likes, I'll keep rolling. And then after that, I'm going to up it, and I'll keep upping it. If you guys prove to me that you enjoy this content, I will take my time to make it because, again, I just want to interact. I want to meet new people. Feel free to email me, message me, Tony@reallifetrading.com. Send me an email. Tell me your story. Tell me what you're looking for, what you're after. I want to help you on your journey. I don't want you to go through the pain that I went through. There's no need to. Learn from my pain so that you don't have to experience it, right? Again, thank you so much. I'm blown away by all the questions, the interactions, the likes. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for being so kind and loving. I love you guys to death. Again, please let me know how I can help you on your trading journey. I'll see you guys around.